This is Kai. Like many of us, Kai is trying to navigate a world overflowing with health advice. He hears whispers of ancient practices and cutting-edge science, all promising a longer, healthier life. One word keeps coming up, spoken with a sense of reverence and mystery: autophagy. It's touted as the body's ultimate reset button, a deep cellular cleanse that can roll back the clock on aging and disease. But the path to this promised land is shrouded in confusion. How long do you have to fast? Is it 16 hours? 24? 3 whole days? The internet offers 1,000 different answers, leaving Kai feeling more lost than empowered. He doesn't want a trendy quick fix. He wants to understand his own biology. He wants to know, not just guess. What is the real, science-backed timeline for triggering this profound process? In this episode of How Not to Die, we will join Kai on his quest. We will strip away the hype and the hearsay to uncover the scientific truth about fasting and autophagy, providing a clear roadmap to help you understand how your body can heal itself from within. Before we talk about a process like autophagy, we need to be crystal clear on what fasting actually is. In our modern world, the word is often confused with starvation, a dangerous state of involuntary nutrient deprivation. But that's not what we're exploring. Fasting, from a biological perspective, is the voluntary, controlled absence of food for a specific period. It's a strategic pause. Think of Kai's body like a hybrid car. For most of his life, it's been running on its primary fuel source, glucose, which comes from the carbohydrates he eats. When Kai eats, his body releases insulin, a hormone that tells his cells to burn this glucose for immediate energy and store any excess in the liver and muscles as glycogen. But what happens when Kai stops eating for a while? After about 12 to 14 hours, those easily accessible glycogen stores start to run low. His body, in its infinite wisdom, doesn't panic. It simply says, time to switch to the reserve tank. This is the crucial metabolic switch. His insulin levels drop, and another hormone, glucagon, rises, signaling the body to start breaking down stored fat into molecules called ketone bodies. These ketones can be used as a powerful, clean-burning alternative fuel source, especially by the brain. This is not starvation. This is a normal, healthy, and flexible metabolic state that our ancestors experienced regularly. It is the very first step on the road to deeper cellular processes, the gateway to autophagy. So, what is this elusive process that Kai and so many of us are chasing? The word autophagy comes from the Greek words auto, meaning self, and phagy, meaning to eat. So literally, it means self-eating. Now, that might sound a little alarming, but it's one of the most brilliant and essential processes for our survival and longevity. Imagine Kai's cells are like bustling, complex cities. Over time, these cities accumulate waste. You have broken proteins that are like rusted-out cars, dysfunctional mitochondria that are like failing power plants sputtering out pollution, and even invading viruses and bacteria that are like unwanted intruders. If this cellular junk is allowed to build up, it can lead to dysfunction, inflammation, aging, and a wide range of chronic diseases, from neurodegeneration to cancer. Autophagy is the city's highly efficient, perfectly organized recycling and sanitation crew. When activated, specialized membranes in the cell, called autophagosomes, begin to move through the cellular city, identifying and engulfing this waste. They hunt down the misfolded proteins, the damaged organelles, and the foreign invaders. They then transport this collected garbage to the cell's recycling plant, the lysosome. Inside the lysosome, powerful enzymes break down the waste into its fundamental building blocks, amino acids and fatty acids. These raw materials aren't discarded. They are sent back into the cell to be used for energy or to build new healthy cellular components. It's the ultimate sustainable model, a self-cleaning, self-renewing system that keeps our cellular cities running smoothly and efficiently. This isn't just a tidying up process. It's a fundamental strategy for survival and renewal. The journey into autophagy is a gradual one, not a sudden leap. Let's follow Kai's internal clock as he begins his fast. For the first 12 hours, his body is primarily focused on finishing the job of digesting his last meal and burning through the resulting glucose. This is the period most people are familiar with, the time between dinner and breakfast. As Kai pushes past the 12-hour mark and into the 16 to 18-hour window, the classic intermittent fasting schedule, significant changes begin. His glycogen stores are becoming seriously depleted. His insulin levels have dropped substantially, and the metabolic switch to fat burning and ketone production is underway. This phase already comes with a host of benefits. Lower insulin levels can improve insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for preventing type 2 diabetes. The initial rise in ketones can offer the brain a sense of clarity and focus. There's also a reduction in inflammation and oxidative stress. But is significant, deep cleaning autophagy happening yet? The science suggests not quite. While the foundational hormonal shifts that promote autophagy are being set, the process itself is likely still operating at a low baseline level. Think of it as the sanitation crew getting their trucks ready and mapping out their routes. They're preparing for the big job ahead, but the citywide cleanup hasn't truly begun. So, this initial fasting window is incredibly beneficial for metabolic health, but it's just the prelude to the main event. It primes the body, setting the stage for the much deeper work to come. So, here is the million-dollar question. When does the switch finally flip? When does autophagy truly ramp up? The most important thing to understand is that autophagy isn't an on or off phenomenon. It's a dimmer switch, not a light switch. The process is always happening at a low basal level in our cells. The real question is, at what point does fasting turn that dimmer switch way up? While the exact timing is highly individual, a point we'll explore more later, the scientific consensus points to a significant upregulation of autophagy beginning somewhere between 24 and 48 hours of fasting. Research, primarily from animal studies, which allow for more direct measurement, shows a marked increase in autophagic markers in various tissues, including the liver, brain, and muscle, after a full day without calories. By the 24-hour mark, Kai's glycogen stores are fully depleted. His insulin levels are at rock bottom, and his body is firmly in a state of ketosis. This low insulin, high glucagon environment is a primary trigger for a key genetic pathway known as AMPK. Activating AMPK essentially sends a loud signal to the cells. Energy is scarce. It's time to conserve resources and clean house. This signal is what turns up that dimmer switch on autophagy. The cellular sanitation crews are now fully deployed and working diligently. The process that was once a quiet hum is now a roaring citywide operation. This is the threshold where fasting transitions from primarily a metabolic reset to a profound cellular recycling and recycling event. As Kai continues his fast and crosses the 48-hour mark, he enters a state of even deeper cellular cleansing. By this point, autophagy is not just upregulated, it is thought to be operating at or near its peak efficiency in many tissues. The cellular sanitation crew is now working overtime, undertaking major renovation projects. What does this mean in practical terms? At this stage, the body is aggressively targeting more significant cellular debris. This includes clumps of misfolded proteins like the amyloid plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease, which research suggests autophagy plays a critical role in clearing. The process is also targeting and recycling entire dysfunctional mitochondria. This is vital, as faulty mitochondria are a primary source of oxidative stress and a key driver of the aging process. By replacing old, inefficient power plants with new, robust ones, the cell dramatically improves its energy production and reduces damaging free radicals. Furthermore, studies suggest that this level of autophagy can have a powerful anti-cancer effect. It can help eliminate damaged cells that have the potential to become cancerous, and it can stress existing cancer cells, which are often less adaptable to low-energy environments than healthy cells. For Kai, this 48-hour period represents a profound biological investment. It's a challenging period, both mentally and physically. But on a microscopic level, his body is performing a deep restorative process that is simply not possible to achieve during a state of being constantly fed. He is actively reducing his future risk of chronic disease and slowing the fundamental processes of aging. For those who are able and under appropriate guidance, pushing a fast into the 72-hour range can unlock even more profound regenerative effects that go beyond cellular cleanup. While autophagy remains highly active, another incredible process begins to take center stage: stem cell regeneration. When the body is in a prolonged fast like this, it starts to break down and recycle a significant number of old and damaged immune cells, particularly white blood cells. This might sound detrimental, but it's actually a strategic clearing of the decks. Kai's body is essentially saying, let's get rid of the old, less effective parts of the immune system to make way for the new. Then, when Kai starts to refeed after the fast, something amazing happens. The introduction of nutrients triggers a massive surge in stem cell activity. These stem cells are signaled to produce a whole new army of fresh, vibrant, and highly effective immune cells. In essence, a 72-hour fast followed by careful refeeding can act as a reboot for the entire immune system. This groundbreaking research, led by Dr. Valter Longo at the University of Southern California, has shown incredible promise, particularly for individuals with compromised immune systems, such as those undergoing chemotherapy. It's crucial to state this clearly. A fast of this duration is a significant undertaking. It should not be attempted lightly or without consulting a healthcare professional, especially for anyone with underlying health conditions. This is not a casual biohack, it's a powerful therapeutic intervention. For Kai, understanding this represents the pinnacle of what fasting can achieve, not just cleaning house, but building a stronger, more resilient house from the ground up. One of the most common mistakes in discussing health is presenting information as if it applies identically to everyone. The timeline for autophagy is not a rigid, universal law. It's a personal equation with many variables. What triggers autophagy in Kai at 24 hours might take 36 hours for someone else, or perhaps even less. What are these variables? First, diet. Someone who regularly follows a low-carbohydrate or ketogenic diet already has lower insulin levels and is more metabolically flexible. Their body is accustomed to using ketones for fuel, so their transition into a fasted state, and therefore into significant autophagy, is likely to be quicker and smoother. Conversely, someone eating a high-carbohydrate diet may have a longer road to deplete their glycogen stores and initiate the process. Second, exercise. Performing intense exercise just before or during the initial phase of a fast can rapidly deplete glycogen stores, effectively jump-starting the journey towards autophagy. Third, age and metabolic health. A younger, metabolically healthy individual may have a more robust and rapid autophagic response compared to an older individual or someone with insulin resistance. Finally, genetics. Our unique genetic makeup plays a role in the efficiency of all our biological pathways, including this one. So while the 24 to 48-hour window is a solid scientific benchmark, the most important takeaway for Kai is to listen to his own body. He must view this information as a map, not a mandate, understanding that his personal journey to cellular renewal will be uniquely his own. While the benefits of fasting are profound, our first principle must always be safety. This journey of self-healing should never cause self-harm. Extended fasting, anything beyond 24 to 36 hours, is not appropriate for everyone and carries potential risks if not approached with knowledge and caution. Who should be particularly cautious and absolutely must consult a doctor before attempting a prolonged fast? First, individuals with a history of eating disorders. Fasting can be a trigger, and the focus must always be on a healthy relationship with food. Second, pregnant or breastfeeding women who have increased nutritional needs. Third, individuals who are underweight or malnourished. Fourth, people with certain medical conditions, especially type 1 diabetes, as fasting can dramatically affect blood sugar and insulin requirements. Those on medications for blood pressure or other chronic conditions also need close medical supervision, as dosages may need to be adjusted. Even for a healthy individual like Kai, it's crucial to listen to the body's signals. Symptoms like severe dizziness, heart palpitations, or fainting are signs to stop the fast and rehydrate with electrolytes. Breaking a longer fast also requires care. Refeeding should be done gently with small, easily digestible meals to avoid refeeding syndrome, a potentially dangerous metabolic shift. The core message is one of respect for this powerful biological process. We must approach fasting not with dogma or competitive zeal, but with wisdom, self-awareness, and the guidance of a trusted healthcare professional. Safety is the foundation upon which all benefits are built.
So, after this deep dive into the science, where does this leave Kai and where does it leave us? We've learned that fasting is not about starvation, it's about a strategic metabolic switch. We've demystified autophagy, understanding it as our body's essential built-in system for recycling and renewal. Most importantly, we have an answer to our central question. While the groundwork is laid in the first 12 to 18 hours, the truly significant, deep cellular cleaning of autophagy begins to ramp up between 24 and 48 hours of fasting, with even more profound regenerative effects, like immune system renewal, possible at 72 hours. But we also know this isn't a simple one-size-fits-all number. Our personal diet, exercise habits, age, and genetics all influence our unique timeline. The ultimate goal is not to become obsessed with hitting a specific number of hours. The goal is to understand the incredible, innate power our bodies possess to heal and regenerate. Whether you choose to incorporate shorter intermittent fasts for metabolic health or explore a medically supervised longer fast for deeper renewal, the knowledge itself is empowering. It transforms fasting from a confusing trend into a deliberate and respectful dialogue with your own biology. Kai now has his roadmap. He can move forward not with uncertainty, but with a deep appreciation for the quiet, miraculous work happening inside his cells, ready to harness this ancient wisdom for a healthier tomorrow.